Hey, Roger Martin from Billings, Montana. This is Laura Ingraham, and she makes some very important distinctions here between history and what's currently going on with the midterm elections and the political sizing of this situation.
Has been damaged. I mean, he said in an interview that I did last year with him that, he wouldn't wish what happened to him on anyone, but he thought it was his duty when the president called to serve on the Supreme Court of the United States to go through what sadly had become a hyper-political process. And Judge Kavanaugh is a consummate professional.
Now, she's talking about the African-American Supreme Court judge. We're talking about Clarence Thomas, and he came out of us with a 7-7 tie, but it's not going to be a tie this time. He is going to get approved, and it's not going to be a tie.
Wrote on the D.C. Circuit speaks to the kind of judicial temperament he has. And just a quick input on what you're seeing outside that committee today. This is midterm politics. They know they're going to lose this confirmation vote. They know they're not going to get any more documents. They know Mark Judge isn't going to somehow appear and change his mind and said, yeah, it all happened. They know all that. This is all about turning out their base, whipping up a frenzy into the country, despite the fact that we learned no new facts yesterday.
They know they're going to lose this confirmation vote. They know he's going through. This is all about midterm politics and whipping up their base and other fools that are involved in this foolishness. And a lot of these Democrats are just not even morally cognitive, if you want to call it that. They are just irate and
about the underlying allegation. Zero new facts that indicate you have any greater credibility on the underlying accusation.
Zero facts. Zero facts. 9 hours and zero facts.
All it is politics. The speeches are political. There is very little concern for the judicial temperament, Dianne Feinstein's comments notwithstanding. Anyone on this panel would be angry, and should be, if they had experienced what Kavanaugh experienced. And I think most of the country watching this understands that righteous indignation.
Let me put that question to someone sitting on that panel with you now, Marie Hart. And what is your reflection on what Laura expresses there, Marie?
Well, I do think that there seems to be momentum for Judge Kavanaugh. We are still waiting on Collins and Murkowski, and I do think there's a question how these two female senators view the testimony yesterday. But I would disagree with Laura a little bit. I think there's righteous indignation, and we all, if we were accused of something we don't believe we did, would be angry. But I do think a lot of people, especially, speaking about the midterms bill, especially those independent women who are already fleeing the Republican Party, they watched yesterday, I think, and saw a man who was angry. He had rage. He cut off female Democratic senators. He was dismissive of the process. And now they see a Republican Party ramming through that confirmation bill.
You see a man who was fighting for his life and fighting for his family. And I saw a man who walked in there, Brett, yesterday with his wife who was saying, listen, if you're going to burn down my house, I'm going to burn down yours as well. And it was pointed. And many have suggested that Supreme Court nominees do not get political. His commentary was clearly directed to Democrats on that panel for what he has gone through over the past several weeks of his life.
Yeah, I mean, we went into that hearing yesterday saying, well, he's going to have to show some indignation. He's going to have to push back. And then when he did, everybody said, whoa, is that too much? What's the line? So which way is it? I think that the process here is the thing that was under scrutiny. Because look at what Senate Democrats...
Now, I'd have gotten pretty irate, too. They deserve at least that much. This guy has been bent over backwards, and they're raking him over the fire of coal and just screwing him over just because they can. And they don't care about him. They don't want him in the Supreme Court because he's conservative and he's very professional, very constitutional in what his decisions are, and they've used his decisions several times. He's very good at what he does in a conservative way.
Democrats could have done. okay? When Senator Feinstein gets the letter, she could have done this anonymously through the process they have. They do whistleblower stuff all the time where people's names are anonymous, and they could have started the process. Not only that, Senate Democrats have their own investigators on the Judiciary Committee that are paid for, that they could initiate on their own. They could go track down Mark Judge in the beach home. They could go do whatever they wanted to do and bring it forward to the committee. And none of that was done.
Well, to that point.
All right, so the Senate Judiciary people have their own investigators they could have used, and none of that was done. So this is all politics and very poorly done.
Grassley just said we can't learn anything from the FBI that we cannot learn ourselves. They have people on staff who do that.
That's his point. Now, obviously, Democrats are hanging the hat on the FBI and their ability to do this, and that's their argument. But I think people looking at it, even though we always get caught up in process in Washington, this process really is on trial in this moment because it could have been handled a lot differently. And without a cooperating witness that backs up Dr. Ford's allegations, then fighting this battle back and forth with Democrats on the FBI is, I think, a losing one for them.
All right, so there's no collaboration. There are no witnesses. There's no due process. There's no collaboration. This is ridiculous. Anyhow, we'll edit this and go from here. What a sham. The whole process is being destroyed because these people want to play politics, midterm politics. They don't care about Kavanaugh's career or family. It's ridiculous.